As we well know, the Raw after WrestleMania is generally considered better than WrestleMania. And this year, whether or not that's the case, I don't really think we could argue too much about that. But one thing we can argue, of course, is that WrestleMania 30 was a good show, in my opinion, but it definitely could have been an epic show if things would have been done a little bit differently. And one thing we did see on this edition of Raw was a vision of the future, a vision of the NXT future, as some may say, which I thought was a really good theme of this show. It's more of a showcase of the new and rather than the old.
That's the thing, because every year after WrestleMania, we always want to see the future grow of WWE. And it's been a while to come to this point because we asked it for every year and we didn't really get it. We always complain that it's the same thing. At least this has given us the start of something special.
And you know what the other good thing about the Raw after WrestleMania is? The fucking crowd. The crowds are usually really awesome at the Raw after WrestleMania. That's something we will go into great detail in on this review. If you have any comments on this show, which I probably imagine you guys have, feel free to put them down in that comment section below. We are the British Fist.
Gotcha.
I am Mr. Parkin, once again sporting this Oasis shirt because I fucking love it. And this guy sitting next to me, he's got about 200 fucking shirts. So it's NJ.
What's up?
And this is probably shirt 198 or something. I don't know how many fucking shirts you're on right now, NJ. But yes, let's get on to this edition.
21 and 1.
Oh my god, you just had to fucking go there, didn't you? I just want to punch you right now. And so does the Slag Daddy. We opened up this show, rightfully so, with Daniel Bryan to what was probably the longest Daniel Bryan chant ever. That was quite cool, wasn't it? He came out and it just for about a minute or 2 minutes, fans were just chanting, Daniel Bryan.
And this is exactly what we wanted, because with Daniel Bryan to have gone through what he did and to come out with the championship, with the crowd behind him, it was just great to hear the response that a new guy other than John Cena is getting following WrestleMania.
You deserve it. That was a good one as well, I thought. And then you had Triple H coming out to asshole chants, and he basically said to Daniel Bryan, I'm going to put myself in the main event because I'm Triple H and I'm coming after your WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I guess it's a sort of a small step one of let's put the odds up against Daniel Bryan in the next couple of months while he's got the championship kind of thing, I guess.
Triple H did not get the main event to WrestleMania. He didn't get the thing that he wanted to get, storyline, put Bryan over. So what does he do? Goes for it anyway, just because he's got the power to overcome Daniel Bryan and to hopefully become champion before the night is through.
And of course, let's face it, he's Triple H. I do want to touch on something here. I think right now we've reached the peak of the Yes Movement. The Yes Movement that started after WrestleMania 28. Now, I do wonder, going forward, will this continue? Will the reactions die down a little bit for Daniel Bryan? Will they continue? It'll be interesting to see over this year after they've really given Daniel Bryan a massive moment at WrestleMania, which unfortunately would be overshadowed by the streak ending, as we'll go on to further. Will the reactions stay that way, or will they kind of dwindle a little bit because now the thrill of the chase is gone?
Well, at this moment in time, this was giving me the impression that it's going to continue because Daniel Bryan can still move his hands to basically get the crowd going.
Yeah, well sold. Well sold on that arm, Daniel Bryan. Yeah,
not very good.
For the, for 10th time in a row.
But the thing is, he is going up against big names, so the rise of Daniel Bryan could last a while, but obviously in great competition.
So the first thing great about this night was that the whole night was focused on Daniel Bryan, the WWE whatever champion, and a newer face, like in that main event scene with the championship as he finally got his moment. We moved on then to the Wyatt family versus John Cena, Sheamus, and B. Langston. I think it was very obvious who the crowd wanted to win here. He got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands. He got the whole world in his hands.
Yeah! Well, he's definitely got the crowd in the palm of his hands and he's playing a heel side. But the thing I liked about this straight away is some people would say Big E being the match why. But Cesaro, as we all know, later down the line, we're going to mention him. But Big E's still going to be a big part of the WWE. So for him to be involved with two top bases, it spotlighted him in a way, even though with him being maybe seen as the odd one, we knew what was coming.
Although I think the best crowd chant of the night was, John Cena sucks! John Cena sucks. I thought that was a really good thing that the crowd did. It was just funny. And to be honest, Bray Wyatt gets the victory here on a Big E Langston, which he desperately needed, in my opinion, after last night where John Cena beat him again. Another showcasing of the new talent and having a new talent go over here.
Even though, like I said, Langston being seen as the odd one out, I don't see what harm. I know he's just returned. Sheamus is not in a feud. He's not really got anything going for him. So if he got a pin over Sheamus, it's a big pin over a big name, and it wouldn't have harmed Sheamus because he's got nothing really going for him just yet.
Bottom line is Bray Wyatt got the win. That's all I give a fuck about after last night. Fandango and Summer Rae versus Santino and Emma. Okay. The only time of the year where Fandangoing actually happens. Who won this? I can't remember who won. Yeah, Emma won the match. That's right.
Beautiful move she did. I'm going to give her credit on that. I loved her submission. But we've seen this match multiple times. Yes, eventually Emma's going to go off and do something else we'll get to. Santino is probably stuck in these mid-card feuds. Fandango...
I'm so used to it on NXT, it just kind of comes naturally to me now. And now for one of the segments of the night, in my opinion. You know, after last night when the streak ended and, you know, a lot of people were annoyed about it, and rightfully so, the way it ended was very much a whimper. And we're hearing that Undertaker actually chose to end it to Brock Lesnar when he picked up a concussion and everything like that. And, you know, more on that at a later time. But there is no doubt right now that after this segment, Lesnar's the number one heel in the company after breaking the streak, isn't he? He has to be. The crowd are going to fucking hate Brock Lesnar now for this.
Thing is that, again, with Lesnar, yes, he's the one who did the damage. He's the one who took up The Undertaker. But it was Paul Heyman that actually made Brock who and how he is, who made the segment as big as it is. So you can give Heyman the credit here, while Lesnar, with the black eye, looked dominant.
Do you think that black eye was painted? I don't really remember him getting hit in the eye. Animal coming out of battle, I don't know. But Paul Heyman, yeah, he cut a fucking promo and a half here, didn't he, NJ? The whole, I mean, I can't read, there's so much to what he said that, you know, I thought was really good. This was genius by Paul Heyman. Just did a great job of hyping up Brock Lesnar as a fucking meme machine, breaking the streak. And then he's the most hated heel here. And then later on in the night, he goes to be one of the fucking most cheered men in the fucking building. I don't know how this guy does it. He's a genius.
With Brock Lesnar, the thing that's helped him to get where he is the wrestlers, the legends.
It's got a bit of a stutter, hasn't it?
He emphasised the word S because Brock Lesnar's just one man, and all these other greats have tried to overcome Undertaker, have tried to come Brock Lesnar. But Undertaker is the one man who's a wrecking machine. And I thought Paul Heyman put him over greatly. And after the streak now, rightly so.
I mean, even if you're disappointed about the streak ending, you cannot deny that the work here by Paul Heyman was fucking genius. I mean, you just have to say that. I imagine the only thing they can give Lesnar right now is have him go after the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, what more can they do with him now? He's broken the streak. He's kind of broken, you know, the biggest thing there is in WWE and WrestleMania. He's going to have to go after the WWE Championship now, you would think.
Well, that was the bite of him before WrestleMania. He wanted this shot, and then obviously Taker stepped in. But the thing is, the next person to beat Brock Lesnar will have to really mean something, because to end the streak, you expect the next challenger to be up there, worthy to be facing someone who's just done something as big as that.
Definitely. Now it's time for my favourite section of the review, and that is the part of the review where we talk about some of these new NXT talents that I've been going and banging on about my next NXT reviews every Thursday, which a lot of you guys probably don't even tune into, and you damn well should. Firstly, NJ, I'm curious on your thoughts on Bo Dallas. Don't stop, believe.
This time round, I think the fact that he's had NXT to really build him up, give him spotlight, except the last time, which, to be honest, I'm not sure how many fans were actually behind Bo Dallas.
It was very rushed.
This time round, even non-NXT, it's the way they bring him in. I think with Bo Dallas this time round, he's got a chance.
Oh boy, the Adam Rose Express is making its way to Raw. After only a few weeks of being on NXT, we're going to be getting a Russell Brand lookalike Adam Rose making his presence felt on Raw. Whoa! Did you like this gimmick or not? Because I fucking love the Adam Rose gimmick. It's so fun.
It's definitely entertaining, gives you a great entertaining feeling. But the problem is Fandango with the Fandango in, Brutus Clay with the bunkers
Don't
thing.
you dare! Don't you dare
I look at
compare
this-
Adam Rose to those two jabronis.
I'm only hoping
No.
with a character and a gimmick like this, I'm hoping the WWE don't make him come in, entertain the crowd for a while, and then when the entertainment is there, they're used to it. I'm just hoping that his in-ring ability backs up more than just the music.
I hate you right now for dissing on Adam Rose. That is just out of order. Alexander Rusev had his debut against Zack Ryder. Do you reckon he'll get a better run than Tensai and Kozlov did, or do you reckon he'll just be another version?
His debut was in the Rumble, but his actual match, against
Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
I thought the fans were going to be chanting woo woo woo, but they didn't even give Zack Ryder a chant.
I want to give this guy a chance because, again, a big guy, someone who could bulldoze through stuff. But the WWE had a bad track record with foreign wrestlers, and yes, he may have Luna beside him, but is it going to be enough?
Who really knows? I guess going forward, but at least he offers something different. I'm quite looking forward to see if Alexander Rusev does make it, just as a guy who likes NXT. And let me get to one of my favourite moments of the night. We had AJ Lee coming out, cutting a promo on how she's the best diva and she's the longest reigning 296-day champion. And then we get Paige coming out, which was quite interesting, as she came out to congratulate AJ Lee. And I was kind of like, man, this doesn't seem like Paige. It really doesn't. Like, the way she was talking and the way she was presented didn't really seem that much like Paige. And I was thinking, oh, what the fuck is going on here? And then she goes and wins the fucking Divas Championship. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
An innocent girl who came in to just congratulate the Divas Champion, may not have been the outspoken diva she was in NXT, but I guess she came in, won the championship. This reminds me a little bit of Santino. When Santino won the Intercontinental on his first match, yes, he had the help of Lashley, but this is going to be great for Paige. Someone finally took the championship off AJ, who's held it against the likes of Natalia, a bit of Tamina at the time, the Bellas. So now she's gone on and given it to Paige. Brilliant.
To be honest, I didn't think the debut was done terribly well. But at the end of the day, you debuted her in WWE, and on her first day, she won the Divas Championship. What more can you do on that for a character that essentially, has been in NXT and is only 21 years old? So she's incredibly young, one of the best divas on the NXT roster, and hopefully now on the WWE roster. And I've just talked about a Divas segment for the first time in fucking months, NJ. And I wonder why, because we had a new face in there.
And
TNA.
We could look for is a good probably rematch with AJ. Probably go on to what we've seen on NXT against Emma. When let Emma out of this thing, she's wrapped up with Santino. So I can see quite a bit of good coming. I'm just hoping the WWE continue to develop on that.
So we got Bo Dallas coming to Raw. We've got Adam Rose coming to Raw, which I'm really looking forward to. Alexander Rusev making his debut. Paige winning the Divas Championship. This was a big night for NXT. And if you don't fucking watch NXT, you damn well should, and watch my reviews on Thursday nights. Anyway, let's move off from the NXT, because we had the Usos versus Orton and Batista from WrestleMania main event to Tag Team Championships. What a fall for Orton and Batista. No offense to the Usos, but they just got destroyed in this segment.
It's a fall, but the thing is, you could see the glimpse of evolution, especially at Mania when they teamed together. Now this. But the thing that I'm saying is, normally this time of year, you normally have the number one contender and the champion tag teaming. But this was more to, get them on TV together to hopefully maybe tease a number one contendership or match down the line.
It's a kind of a shame, really, because after a great match where the Usos retained their belts in a four-way elimination tag team match, they kind of look minor league here, just getting completely destroyed by Orton and Batista. At least it was a DQ and the titles didn't change hands. That was my silver lining to this. Rob Van Dam came back to Raw against Damian Sandow. Yay. RVD.
How long is this going to last? A couple of months, then disappear again?
If you're an RVD fan, then fair enough to you. But I prefer Damian Sandow, and seeing him lose here again, it's kind of disappointing. But one thing that wasn't disappointing on this show, number one, the fact Rey Mysterio got booed. That was kind of funny. And then secondly, is the fact we got Bad News Barrett. We finally get to see fucking Bad News Barrett in action for the first damn time.
Rey Mysterio, I'm going to say why he's still around. The feud with Sin Cara's gone. He's not actually a top guy really anymore. But out of Bad News Barrett, the match came out of nowhere. He weren't in the Battle Royal. He comes to Raw and he's in this match. But I will say this, the fact that he's actually showing that he's coming back to wrestling. He wins his first match back. I'm going to give it full praise. And the crowd loves him.
The most over he's been since the last Raw after WrestleMania? I mean, that's usually the case, isn't it? But Bad News Barrett gets the win here. Thank fuck they didn't have Rey Mysterio go over. They probably would have called an audible there. But hey, let's see if Bad News Barrett gets a push. Let's just see if it happens. Because here you've got some bad news. Actually, no, we got some good news. The fact that Ultimate Warrior returned to Raw for the first time in 20 years. But the bad news is he didn't run into the ring. He only did a rope thing. That would have been awesome. But yeah, that was kind of cool. See Ultimate Warrior in the ring for the first time in 20 years, then he brought out his mask and everything. Another like kind of nostalgia moment for the older fans.
Following his great speech at the Hall of Fame, coming to Raw, I did. I loved his speech. This one, yes, it was more wrestling based when he was talking about the fans, the wrestlers in the back and how they could be legendary like him. He didn't really publish his DVD that's coming out, which I think you should all buy because it's going to be more better than his old one.
What, the rise and fall of, what was it? The rise and fall of Ultimate Warrior? The self-destruction of Ultimate Warrior, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so
this time, I think it was great to see him. And again, it was, some fans may not know much about him, but his entrance, the way he spoke, I thought this was a great part of Raw.
His entrance theme and entrance alone made him a star. That's all I will say. Hulk Hogan came out and presented the Andre the Giant Battle Royal trophy to Cesaro. He pretty much got the fuck out of there pretty quickly, so I'm guessing Cesaro could have his moment. Not because Hogan didn't want to be associated with a guy from a former ROH background. But here they put the final nail in the coffin of Cesaro getting away from Zeb Colter and the Real Americans and into the grasp of Paul Heyman. You know, even, which was kind of strange because you'd think that, you know, you'd think that after cutting a promo, which pretty much made him one of the #1 heels in the business, he comes out to pretty much manage Cesaro, and now all of a sudden he's one of the biggest baby faces on the show. And you're like, how does this fucking guy do it? But Cesaro being a Paul Heyman guy, it seems kind of weird that they were turning babyface, and now they're having him aligned with Paul Heyman, who is also aligned with Brock Lesnar, who broke the streak and is one of the biggest heels in the company. Just seems a little bit weird.
I'm questioning this because you just had Cesaro break out as a true face. Great fans behind him. They are enjoying him. They chant for him. And he's working alongside Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, yes, great heel manager. Would have done great for Cesaro. But the fact that he's meant to be a face, he's for their heel manager. Lesnar will be back. So Paul Heyman's going to be doing heel work with an over face. It's quite confusing, but Cesaro is going to be using the hell out of Paul Heyman to go over.
Which I guess may be useful in a sense, because I don't think the guy can really cut a great promo. I don't really think he has an overly good amount of personality. He's not overly charismatic. So to have a guy like Paul Heyman, as long as Paul Heyman gets him the correct reactions, whether that's as a heel or as I think he should be now, a babyface, hopefully this will work. We had Jack Swagger coming out and taking Cesaro off the line and breaking that trophy, man. Imagine how much money WWE put in that trophy, and Jack Swagger just goes out and breaks it. I didn't really think the match was very necessary, though. Just at least it didn't end clean, but, you know, just end it there. Why have the match, especially if you're going to have one at Extreme Rules, perhaps?
I guess Swagger couldn't take it that Cesaro won the Battle Royal and he's more over than he is, so he broke the trophy. As for the match, I felt it was needed because it ends their tag team. It ends. They don't even need another match following this. Cesaro ended up just getting away from Swagger. Swagger and Cesaro finished, so I think they can move on now.
I think they have one more match at Extreme Rules because the match didn't finish clean. That's how I feel about it. Big Show versus Cesaro is going to be happening on SmackDown, so make sure you tune into my SmackDown review. I'm expecting to see some big feat of strength from Cesaro here and for him to beat Big Show. That's all I'll say about that. Main event time, Bryan versus Triple H. You know, Triple H, this wasn't really much of a match. Triple H did get his money's worth here, though, didn't he? By only, pretty much just walking into the ring and that. You had Orton, Kane, Batista beat down Daniel Bryan before the match, allowing Triple H to come out and, the privilege of coming out and trying to pin Daniel Bryan until Foxstar, I don't know, Shield to come out. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The thing I want to question before I go on to the positive and the negative of this segment is Steph sent Kane out to the ring, sent the Shield out, but when Triple H and Steph, they thought, hang on, why is Shield not coming down? That I thought, Steph just sent them down backstage and they don't turn up, so that's a bit questionable. Triple H coming down to the ring, stalling. Yes, it's trying to make he just got RKO, Batista bomb, chokeslam. He's not getting up, but he just rang the bell, walked around, Shield come down. So it's a bit stalling and stuff, but it does show Triple H the championship's mine, so screw you, Bryan. So it was a good but yet stalled ending.
So they pretty much, they didn't have that much time, so I knew we weren't going to be getting another WrestleMania opening match here. And, it was, they tried to work this in the sense that it looked like Daniel Bryan is out for the count once again. And then you have the Shield come out to make the save and beat down the Authority. And, the match never really finished. I guess it was a DQ or something. And Daniel Bryan retains his championship. And you end the show with Daniel Bryan and the Shield in the ring and Triple H and the Evolution and Kane on the outside of the ring. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, again, Daniel Bryan and the Shield ending the show. It looks like the Shield have got a match for Extreme Rules. Probably Batista, Kane, and Randy Orton, maybe even Triple H in there. Especially seen as Roman Reigns speared Triple H, which I thought was a fucking awesome moment. And I imagine that perhaps Lesnar will challenge for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship now. I imagine that's probably how it'll go. But we got some good tease there for Extreme Rules, and not a great way to end the show. But you're ending the show with with four newer guys in the main event scene ending the show. That's what I'll say about that.
I feel if they're gonna push Daniel Bryan's title run to be month to month, yes, you'd prefer to see him defending it to be a fighting champion. But at Extreme Rules, it's going to be a 6-man, 8-man tag just to give him that extra month being champion. Hence what they hinted on Raw. Not a bad idea. You have Daniel Bryan overcoming the fact that Triple H was that close to becoming the champion once again. So I think they set up a good build-up to Extreme Rules, or possibly an Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, there's a reason why this is the only Raw I've really reviewed, the Raw after WrestleMania, because, generally, like I said, a lot of things happened on this show, and we had a lot of moments which, I can't really recount because there are so damn many. But like I said, the best thing about this show, and kind of one of the things about WrestleMania 30 as well, was the fact that we weren't getting used to, we weren't getting the same old shit. We were getting, Daniel Bryan, we were getting the Shield, we were getting newer faces, NXT, the WWE bringing some newer characters into the show. We're getting some newer characters spotlighted, which is making the show feeling a little bit more refreshed. I'm not going to go back to watching Raw live or anything, but this was still a good show to sit through and review.
All I want to say is that the WWE, after years and years and years of making us wait, are finally showing us who the mid-carders are, who the future are, and booking them in a way where we can believe them, the crowd are behind them. The WWE just needs to continue concentrating on them.
If you have any comments on this show, please let us know down in the comment section below. And that has been it from us. We hope you enjoyed the WrestleMania 30 review. Go check that out, and also this Raw review as well. Thank you very much for watching, if you have. And NJ?
Thank you very much for watching, people. This has been a good 2 reviews with Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the week, because the best is yet to come. Bye.